Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be renovating number 18 Culpepper house, and I really wanted to use some more of the Cozy Bistro Kit in another residential lot. I have already decorated an apartment using this kit, but I really wanted to see what else I could do with it. And so I made this home for some musicians and their kid. I was thinking that at least one of them was a pianist, though I also have a violin, and I wanted this to be a very vintage, in a very vintage style and to have lots of older stuff, but I wanted to do this differently to the apartment that I had done before when I built an apartment over a cafe. And so I really wanted to try out this new wallpaper in a different color, so I went with this blue because I have already used the green and the red, which are absolutely beautiful, but I really wanted to see what else I could do with these wonderful wallpapers. So I decided to use that in most of the areas of this house, but here in the kitchen I am using a tile, and this tile is from Realm of Magic, but the floor tile is still from Cozy Bistro, as is the door and the windows that I have leading into this kitchen space, which was another thing that I really wanted to try out. And I also really wanted to have that coffee machine because it is so beautiful, and even if coffee machines get very annoying in The Sims, this one is so cute that I thought it was worth it. And I am pairing it with these counters from Realm of Magic, and the appliances are from the Country Kitchen kit. So I really wanted to have this space look somewhat expensive. This isn't in one of the expensive buildings in San Myshuno. This is like the Spice District. But I think that this family has enough money to have had the whole apartment renovated. Maybe it was actually a very old apartment and they have restored it, or maybe they just wanted it done in this beautiful like wallpaper and paneling and everything. And one thing that I did that might not be a very realistic renovation was that I changed these windows for the same windows but in a smaller size, because I really wanted to have that wall over there so that I could have an office and a kitchen. And I think that this worked out a lot better. I really needed to still have this plaque, this historical plaque somehow. I didn't want it to look out of place, and this is one of those things that you cannot remove from the apartments, but I think that it makes your Sims inspired, and since it's an historical thing, I thought that it would be cool in this apartment that has so many beautiful older style furniture like these couches and chairs, this beautiful bookcase from Strangerville that I really wanted to use in this house because it has the perfect height and the detail is so beautiful. Also these chairs from the Cozy Bistro Kit and the prints from there of course fit perfectly in here. And then in the office space I really wanted to have an upright piano. There was no way I was going to be able to fit the grand pianos with this layout, but this upright fits perfectly. And I also added a desk. Maybe this pianist isn't a classical pianist, maybe they write lyrics, or maybe they just use their computer to, as a normal person uses a computer. And I also added some violins and a record player. And I really wanted to have a painting that fit this space, and I thought that this one with the pianist and the blue colored background was perfect. And then I just added a rug and a few other items in here. I do come back to it because later I decided that I wanted to add a clock in there. I was thinking it's more of a metronome, but I think you will see that later in the process. But first I really wanted to get started on this bedroom, which was a bit of a struggle. I tried almost everybody in the game that I felt would maybe fit this style, and it took me forever. I got out so much footage, but I ended up deciding to have this one from the base game. This is the one that has the sunflowers and the Starry Night swatches. It is a beautiful artsy bed, but I decided to go with this plain red swatch. And then I decided to have this gallery wall with the frame TV. I am adding this painting from Strangerville that makes it look a bit older in style. It has a frame that is a lot more ornate. And I also decided at this point, more or less, that I wanted this family to be clock collectors. And I somehow forgot we have watches, but I did add some of those later on. I think I don't show it, but you should be able to see those in the screenshots and in the version that is uploaded to the gallery. If you would like to download this, my ID is Veranio, and you can just place it down on number 18 Culpepper House, and I will also have that link down in the description, in case that's easier for you to find. But just as a finishing touch, I think the last thing I did in this bedroom was to add this vanity and some clutter to it, as well as some clutter here in this bedside table. And I just really tried to have this be like another space that had a lot of vintage stuff. Oh, here is where I decided that they were going to be like clock enthusiasts, because I added this clock to this side table and then I added one to the wall, and I already had another one on the wall, but I decided that I was fine with that. I do know somebody who really loves clocks and watches, so I thought that it wasn't so strange to have a collection of those, although I did end up moving the one from cottage living into the office space a bit later. But first I wanted to make sure that this hallway looked like usable space. I didn't realize it at the time I was doing the floor plan, but actually this hallway has more tiles than the office, which is probably not ideal, but I decided that it would have a bookcase. This isn't an actual bookcase, this is the bar back from the Cozy Bistro Kit, but it does function as a bookcase because those books are functional. And I also added a record player, so there's more spaces to enjoy music in this house, or in this apartment. And I also wanted to have a coat rack and a chair so that it looks like this space would be alright to spend time on. I did really like this archway from Strangerville. I later changed all of the doors to the matching Strangerville doors, which are really beautiful, and I am very glad I did that change, because it also allowed the wood tones to match. But I do that, I think, at the very end of this video. And actually, I think this is a good moment to remind you that I have a giveaway going on. There's still time to participate. It will close on Tuesday of next week, and you can find it on my latest video. I will also have that link down in the description if you want to participate. But participating is very easy, you just have to watch the video and follow the instructions, which are super easy as well. But I don't really want to talk too much about it in this video, because I want to tell you about this child's bedroom, which I was thinking was for a child who was really into books and maybe even writing, also fantasy. And so I really wanted it to be slightly whimsical, and it's of course like very vintage. Many of the furnishings and decorations look older, but I think that this color scheme was very nice for it. I really enjoyed using this wallpaper from Crystal Creations. I think it's wonderful for a child's bedroom because it looks, you know, with the moons and everything, it just seems to me like the people who would have picked this wallpaper were thinking about their child having like sweet dreams and everything. So I think that's very cute. And I think that it matches this bed perfectly, and also this bedside table and this beautiful desk from Paranormal. I think this desk is definitely one of my favorites, though I am really sad that it doesn't come in a normal brown swatch. It has a black, grey and black swatch, but there's no brown, and I think that's very sad, especially since I really do love all of the colors, but sometimes I don't want bright colors in my desks. So I think that's a bit sad, but at the same time, it also kind of makes me use some other desks, and I think that maybe I would overuse it if it was a bit more versatile. I don't know. But anyway, I made this bookshelf. I am not actually sure if this one is functional. I think it is because I did playtest this apartment, and I do know that the toy box is functional. That's one thing I like about For Rent that I wasn't expecting, is that because you can now look for marbles inside of toy boxes, adults can now playtest that item, which I think is very cool. But anyway, I just added a dragon in there because I wanted there to be some more toys, and because I wanted to tie in the fantasy elements. And then this is going to be the last the last room in the apartment. It's just a simple bathroom. There's only one in this house. So it isn't small and it has both a shower and a bathtub. I struggled a bit with this layout for some reason. I really wanted to have this beautiful print from Cozy Bistro centered, but it just wasn't possible because I also wanted some towel storage. And instead of hanging some bathrobes, I decided to go with this storage unit because sometimes I think that the bathrobes don't look great if there's too many bathrobes. I think you can have at most 2 bathrobes because I think that more than 2 bathrobes look a bit weird in The Sims. But anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the giveaway. I'm going to be picking 2 winners who are going to each get a kit of their choice. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon.